Hi guys, welcome back with Talking with Tyler, and today with another podcast. I will be doing a podcast on the Jets loss and upcoming game versus the Lions. So the Jets got defeated this past weekend to the Bills 20-12, and Mike White persevered himself in the game a little bit, coming out of the game 2 times and stayed till the end of the game and toughed it out. So Zonovan Knight had his first career touchdown in the NFL with a rushing touchdown in the third quarter for 13 yards. So we got him his first touchdown, and he's over. Let's see. So his total stats for this year so far is 230 yards. So he's making his way to doing good for his career. And Garrett Wilson had 78 yards on 6 receptions for 13 his average, and his long was 16. He was the leading wide receiver in the game versus the Bills. And the Jets had 3 total sacks in the game, 2 by Quinnen Williams, and got injured later in the game. But the Jets put a lot of pressure on Josh Allen, but by Bryce Huff and a couple other guys. And Sheldon Rankins had the other sack. So the Jets had a pretty decent game, but I thought that I didn't really like the play call. They shouldn't have went for a touchdown instead of the field goal, but it wouldn't matter anyways. They would still have to recover the onside kick to get the game closer. And Josh Allen, the Jets really held Josh Allen to not. In the beginning of the game, Josh Allen wasn't really very good. He started 0 for whatever, and he finished the game 16 for 27 for 147 yards. So his completed passes were definitely not for a lot of yardage because his leading wide receiver only caught the ball for 41 yards. So his passes must have been short and complete. And Greg Zuerlein was 1 for 1 on his extra point attempts. And Braxton Berrios had 88 yards receiving, so probably one of his highest receiving yards on kickoff returns this year. So I got my dad back for another podcast. I'm going to ask him one question. Dad, why, how did you like the way the defense played?
Thought the defense played really well. Like you stated earlier, in the beginning of the game, Josh Allen was 0 for, and then I think 1 for 5. There was no score after the first quarter. It was 0-0, so it was a game of field position. I also think playing in Orchard Park, it was cold and it was rainy. So that really didn't help. It kind of kept the offense at bay. Leading up, going into the, towards the end of the second quarter, the Jets had a defensive stop where they got it to about 4th and 1, maybe from the 40-something yard line, and the Bills had a trick play where they put Knox under center, and it fooled C.J. Mosley. C.J. Mosley jumped over the center and had an offsides penalty, which gave them the first down. I think on the very next play, or the second play, Josh Allen threw one over the top to Knox, and he ran down to the end zone and hurdled and got in and got a score right before the end of the half. And I don't think that play, cost us the game, but I think a punt there, Jets would have had the ball to end the half, and they could have had an opportunity to either put points on the board by a field goal or a touchdown and take a lead going in. It was a big momentum swing there, and Jets went down 7-0. And in the second half, injuries played a pretty big role in the game. Did you mention who had injuries there? Who got hurt in the game for the Jets there?
Quentin Williams, Mike White had a ribs injury, getting taken out of the game twice.
Yeah, Quentin had a non-contact leg injury, which when we first looked at it, we thought he blew out his knee and he was going to be out for the year. But we later found out it was a calf. He's day-to-day about coming back for Sunday's game against Detroit. They're hopeful that he's going to play. Mike White, first time was taken out of the game. He got hit pretty good. The second hit, I thought he died. He got hit so badly in the ribs, and he's a fighter though. He came back out and finished the game. Actually went down and drove down and got us a score, got us to within one score. But he was taken to the hospital afterwards, evaluated. He was cleared to fly home. He's been on limited practice for the last couple days, but the Jets doctor will not clear him. So true to form with the Jets, our backup quarterback is now out. We elevated Zach Wilson to the number 2, and ultimately he's slid into the starting position now. So Zach Wilson is back in at quarterback. So we'll see. What do you think about that? How do you think Wilson will do returning to play home in front of the home crowd?
I think he's going to be a little rusty and unsure because he's gonna want to play hard and try not to lose this role again.
Yeah, I think you make a valid point there. I think it's really going to be important for the coaching staff to talk to him and make him understand that he doesn't have to go out solely by himself and win the game, but he does have to take care of the ball. He does have to make plays. He's in a very precarious spot because Mike White seems to have won the crowd over and has seemed to win the locker room over. So it'll be interesting how the crowd and the team responds to Zach being in there. I'm fearful that when we're at the stadium, Jets go 3 and out or he misses a pass, they're going to be booing him and chanting for Mike White. And while that might be the case and maybe he might be a better option for us, the Jets need to win. Losing against the Patriots, losing against the Vikings, and, obviously the Bills too, but those last 3 games that we've lost that I just mentioned, we had to try and win one of those games. And not that we had opportunities or we should have definitely won, but we had an opportunity against the Vikings and we squandered it. The game against the Patriots, not a definite win, but squandered that one too. And, had a chance against Buffalo. When Mike White went out, we had a fumble by Flacco, then we had a fumble by Carter. And you can't lose the turnover battle playing on the road and definitely not playing in Buffalo. So with that being said, we have to put it behind us, and now we have to look forward to the game against Detroit. Coming into the game, how's Detroit playing?
Very good.
Very good. Who's playing well for Detroit?
The running back, I think his name is...
Running back is doing really well. I think he's got over. I think he has 11 or 14 running touchdowns. Their quarterback is Goff, and he's been playing, I think, some of his best football of his career. And I think they've won 6 out of their last 7 games. So Detroit right now, I think, is 6-7. We're 7-6. So one team's going to come out of this feeling good, and the other team, is going to be around 500. So back when the Jets were riding high, we said they need to get to 10 wins. So there's 4 games left. We have to win 3 of those 4 games. And based on the schedule that we have, Detroit, Jacksonville, Seahawks, and Dolphins, it seems like our best opportunity is going to be in these 3 games. So you can only win the game that's you can only worry about the game that's ahead of you right now, and that's Detroit. They had the number 1 overall pick, defensive player. Who's that? Hutchinson, I think his name is.
He wasn't first.
He wasn't first.
No.
All right. Well, they have him, and he's got over 10 sacks already, and he's been playing really, really well. So I hope our offensive line could contain him. And if our defense plays the way that they've been playing, and hopefully, Quentin Williams is back, because Quentin Williams has just been playing a Pro Bowl and maybe even All-Pro type year. If he comes back and we're able to put pressure on Goff with our front four and let our D-backs and cornerbacks and safeties do what they have to do, I think we're going to have an opportunity. But this game is every bit of a playoff game and playoff atmosphere that we've had probably within the last decade, 11, 12 years. This game is going to be like a playoff atmosphere, and I hope the fans jet up, and I hope they're loud, and I hope they're positive too, because I'm just nervous that if Zach does not play well, that the crowd is going to turn pretty quickly, and the fans and the team and the players really have to stick together. So I'm hoping this coaching staff, Saleh and LaFleur, really have a good game plan going into this game to put Zach in positions to do well and let our playmakers make plays. So I'm hoping that's Garrett Wilson. I'm hoping that's Bam Knight. Corey Davis is also going to be out. He's in concussion protocol. So losing him is going to be difficult, but it's going to be an opportunity for Mims and Moore to step up and make some plays.
Yep, and also a big name that's probably going to go down for the Lions is Aiden Hutchinson. They announced 5 hours ago that Hutchinson is questionable for Sunday's matchup against the Jets due to an illness. So, if he's out, that's going to be a whole difference to the game.
It will. So, right now we're adding something new to the podcast, and we are going to call it Tyler's Takeaways. So, T, takeaway one from the game versus the Buffalo Bills. What was your takeaway on our defense, the Jets defense?
My takeaway on the Jets defense was when Quentin Williams sacked the Josh Allen.
Yeah, so putting pressure on the QB helps. He's a mobile quarterback. But I think putting pressure on the quarterback is key. I think it's going to be key against Detroit as well. I think if we get Goff out of the pocket, he's not overly mobile, and I think he's more of a pocket passer. So if we're able to flush him out and get pressure on there, I think that would be helpful. What's your takeaway on the offense with, let's say, Mike White? What's our offense look like with Mike White, and what do you think our offense looks like with Zach Wilson?
So I think with Mike White, he's getting positive yardage on first down. Not like, even though like he might be under pressure, he escapes the pocket or maybe like dumps it off to somebody and gets positive yardage.
Okay, and what's your takeaway with Zach Wilson? When Zach Wilson plays good, he does what? And when he plays poorly, what happens?
When he does good, he helps win games, and when he does bad, he helps the team go downhill.
Okay. If there's one thing that we need to do on Sunday to get a win, what do you think the most important thing is that we need to do or concentrate on to earn us a victory and move us to 8-6 and one step closer to the playoffs?
I mean, if we can get the running backs going, and I don't know how good Zach Wilson will be doing passing-wise, but I think the running game, will hopefully come alive.
So I think I think that's a very valid point. If we're able to establish the run and get some positive yards on first down, get some bigger plays, and get into second and third and down that's manageable, we'll be able to open up the passing game a little bit and maybe give Wilson a little bit more time to throw, maybe give him some different looks, maybe some play action. So if we're going to run the ball, we're going to be run heavy on Sunday, we'll have an opportunity maybe for a big play or an out route or a seam pattern or a post play where we could get some bigger yards because we're trying some play action. But it's really going to be Ty Johnson, Bam, Carter, Robinson.
Robinson, I think maybe no. I think he's going to be activated.
I think he's going to be activated too. So we're going to have to go by battery. We're going to have all hands on deck there. But I think we're really going to have to try and establish the run first, so that hopefully we put Zach in a comfortable position where he could play. Listen, Zach was 5-2 as a starter, so it's not, all hope isn't lost. But when he plays well, we do well. When he plays poorly, it's a tough road to hoe. So I don't see. We're gonna have to, I think we'll find out after the first two offensive possessions what quarterback we have. Do we have good Zach Wilson or bad Zach Wilson?
Yep.
And only time will tell.
The only way that I think the offense will come alive is if Zach Wilson has at least one touchdown passing and over 200 yards.
Well, to do that, he's going to have to hit Garrett Wilson a lot. He's been really good at yards after catch. He just set the Jets' rookie record for most receiving yards, taking over Wesley Walker, and then Wesley Walker was beaten by Keyshawn Johnson. So he now has that record and still has 4 games to go. So he could quite easily, be over 1,000 yards this year, and that would be a tremendous mark for a rookie. Joe Douglas's draft class has done really, really well, and it looks like the Jets are here to stay. Hopefully we'll be able to get a W and get one step closer to the playoffs.
Thank you guys for listening to my podcast, and the Jets will be taking on the Bills. No, not the Bills, the Lions this weekend at 1 o'clock this Sunday. So hope the Jets win, and go Jets. Jets, 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 Jets.